Story time. When I was like 6 or 7 years old, I was really thick with 3 C's. I mean, if I was a fruit, I was a grape. If I was a shape, I was a circle. You see this right here? This. So it was a time when girls began to like question their like bodies and stuff like that. All of my friends aren't fat, so why am I fat? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get on a diet. So for that whole day, I only ate carrots. But then I was so confused. Why am I still fat? I only ate carrots all day. Oh no, God, am I pregnant? My mom had a pregnancy test in her bathroom. So guess what I did? Struggled to open that pregnancy test up. I was so scared for my life. I knew for sure I was pregnant because there was no other way that I could be fat and not be pregnant. I took the pregnancy test and waited. To my relief, it said negative. I went to my mom and cried because I was like, Mom, I think I'm pregnant, but I think this pregnancy test doesn't work. I'm so fat, I must be pregnant. She's like, nah, you ain't pregnant. You just eat too much.
Yeah, why are you picking me up? Where's my mom? She's real busy today, so it's just me. Want to get some Arby's on the way home? Hell yeah, I want some Arby's. Mom, what are you doing? Hurry up and go, Cat. I'm leaving your dad. What do you mean?
When I went to find my kiwi, I looked inside the pantry. When the pantry no have kiwi, I looked at my roommate. My roommate ate my kiwi, and so I ate my roomie.
So this guy's been in prison for 15 years when he finally escapes. He breaks into the closest house searching for money and guns. In the bed he finds a young couple. He takes the man, ties him to a chair, then gets on top of the wife and kisses her neck, all while tying her, and runs into the bathroom. The husband looks at his wife and goes, honey, he's an escaped convict. Look at his clothes. He probably spent a lot of time in prison and hasn't seen a woman in years. I saw how he kissed your neck. If you want sex, don't complain, don't resist. Just do what he says. He could be dangerous. And I'm sure the thought of it makes you as sick as it does me, but honey, I don't want to die. So please, just be strong. I love you. And the wife replies, honey, he wasn't kissing my neck. He was whispering to me. Yeah, he told me he was gay, thought you're cute, and asked if we had Vaseline. So I told him it was in the bathroom. Be strong, honey. I love you.
This prosthetic has got me into some awkward situations. How this works is there's a little metal ring right here, and if I twist it all the way to the right, it allows me to swivel my hand around. If it's in the middle, then it's locked. But if it's all the way to the left, then I can pull this hand out. So I go shopping, and I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt like this, so it covers up my prosthetic, and this looks kind of real. Well, it did until my dog got a hold of it and chewed the fingertips off. Talk about biting the hand that feeds you. Am I right? So I go through the checkout, put the bag in my prosthetic, and I bring my hand down. And I didn't realize that my wrist socket was turned all the way to the left. And the weight of the groceries popped my hand out of its socket, and it was just dangling there. Now, I would have thought nothing of it, except I hear this scream. So I turn around, and I see this poor little girl hugging her mom, and she says, Mom, his hand fell off! So I'm over here just trying to shove my hand back in as fast as I can, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to get some groceries, not send a little girl to counseling. So if you're watching this and you are the mother of the daughter that I unintentionally scarred for life, once again, I am so sorry.
I was 11 years old when my mom kicked me out of the house for the first time. It was a school day! The sun wasn't even out! So you know what I did? I took a shit in the front yard. And I smeared it on her house with a leaf! Fuck! And then I took my happy ass on a school bus with a fucking trash bag of my belongings and went to school. And I told all of my friends, naturally. I thought this was the best revenge. I thought this was a normal thing that happened between daughters and mothers. I got sent to the guidance counselor. And then a few years later, I found out that my stepdad had to power wash my feces.
So when I was little, my mom took me and my brother to the local pool. I was 12, he was 4. So while my mom and I sunbathed, he played in the kiddie pool. When all of a sudden he comes up to us and says, Mommy, I gotta go pee-pee. And instead of taking him to the bathroom, my mom said, Go pee-pee in the pool. Shame on you, Carol Ann. We continued to lay out in the sun until all of a sudden we hear everyone scream. Oh my God, some kid's peeing in the kiddie pool. Torian didn't understand, and he went over to the kiddie pool, pulled down his pants, and pee-peed like he was peeing in the toilet. But my mom is clever, and she pretended like she didn't know whose kid it was, and we never went back to that pool again.
So, everybody's seen these trees before, right? They're called Italian cypresses, aka rich trees, because only rich people would buy trees with no leaves. And you know you're in a nice neighborhood when you start seeing these bad boys popping up everywhere. So I decided I was gonna flex on my neighbors and plant one of these rich trees in my yard, you know, to let them know that we rich over here. I cannot even begin to describe to you how annoyed my husband was when he came home from work and saw that I had planted this in the middle of our yard.
My mom is mad at me because on our hike this morning I saw a cat. I took off after it and caught up to it, but it wasn't a cat, it was a motherfucking skunk. That asshole skunk squirted me right in my face and now I stink and so does my mom's car and our house. This really blows cause now I'm on bath number 3 in less than 30 minutes. Did I learn my lesson? Fuck no 10-10 I'd do it again. I haven't been to the toilet in 4 days and it was starting to worry me so I went to the doctor's. I arrived and the doctor felt my stomach and said it was very hard. He wanted me to take a stool sample which means you have to shit in the cup. I had coffee for breakfast so I was pretty much ready to go. I grabbed the cup and went to the toilet and held it up to my ass and started pushing. I didn't realize how badly coffee affected me and the next thing you know a strong gust of diarrhea started blasting out of my ass and I felt like a rocket ready for takeoff. I grabbed onto the door for balance because I started levitating and the cup was already full but I couldn't stop. I was holding onto the door for dear life and the shit was spitting out like a shotgun. I eventually stopped and looked at the glass cup of my shit and there were cracks all over the glass. I heard the desk lady shouting for everyone to get under the chair and to call the police. I got scared thinking what is going on outside so I quickly cleaned myself up and rushed out of the bathroom to see everyone crying and hiding under the chairs because they thought there was an active shooter in the building. I said it was just my shit and everyone got up. Anyways, I have bowel cancer.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. The most embarrassing thing just happened to me. So I just took a bath. I didn't wash my hair because I'm lazy and I'm gross. Anyways, I walked out of the bathroom. I live by myself. I am technically allowed to walk around naked in my birthday suit whenever I want to because nobody else is here to see me. You get the point. I can walk around naked because I live here by myself. My name Hope with the P is silent. As you can see, the P is knocked off. Anyways, I walk out of the bathroom. My cheeks are barren. And I kind of forgot that I left my blinds open. And I walked out completely naked right across from this bar that is filled with people. My spaghetti-o. I'm pretty sure I flashed the entire bar. Look at, they probably saw me naked. It gets worse. It gets worse than this. I realize what I've done and that I'm naked and they can see me. And so I quickly turn around and run down the hall. As I was turning, I slipped in my little bath puddle and fell, still naked, in the hallway. Somebody saw me naked and they saw me fall naked. I'm so embarrassed. I'm gonna die. I'm literally gonna die.
So when I was 16, I used to work in a grocery store, and we had one customer that always came in who was very obviously mentally ill. And one day I was bagging her groceries, and she said to me, "Don't you wish it was back to the cotton picking days?" And I was like, And she was like, "Don't you wish it was back to the cotton picking days?" And I was like, "As in slavery?" And she was like, "Yes." And I was like, "Why the fuck would you ask me that?" And my manager was like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "I'm gonna have to step away before I throw punch an elderly woman." And she was like, "Okay, go in the break room." A week later, we found out that woman had a heart attack and died. And I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right.
Okay, story time. So I work at a jewelry store, and today a man came in looking for a gift for his wife for their 10th year anniversary. He ended up picking out a piece that said, "My beautiful wife." And I said, "Anything else for you today?" And he said, "No, that's it for her, but I do want to make another purchase using a separate credit card. And could you possibly create a different account for me?" And I said, "Sure, what are you looking for?" And he said, "Do you have anything that says girlfriend?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Perfect, I'll take it. And do you have anything that says happy 1 year anniversary to go with it?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Perfect, I'll take it." So I boxed everything up all nice and I put them in their respected bags. He had me mark a K for Kristen on the bottom of his wife's bag and an L for Laura on the bottom of his girlfriend's bag. I put pretty bows on them. I handed it to him. I said, "They're gonna love it. Have a nice day." And he said, "Thank you." And shit, I just remembered that his wife's name is Laura and his girlfriend's name is Kristen. I must have mixed up the bags. Oops.
Shocking true story about a man that wrestled a shark to retrieve his nephew's arm. In 2001, an 8-year-old boy named Jesse had his arm bitten off by a shark. His uncle carried him out of the water and gave him heart massages until paramedics showed up. His uncle then jumped back into the water and wrestled the shark until he got him on land. He pried the shark's mouth open and got his nephew's arm out. They put the arm on ice and took it to the hospital. Luckily, they got it there in time and they were able to reattach his arm.